What up, my friends? How you doing? It's Thursday night. We're here for a Thursday night chill stream because Wednesday, I would say, was not so chill. Wednesday was wild. So we're gonna crack some magic boosters and chill out. We're gonna have a good time. So first things first, let me grab the live stream link and I will share that in the Discord. And then we will do our helloifications. All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Now we do our hellos. Bam. What up, Eng, Ned, Jess, Kensuke, Rays, Lasagna, Millmaster, Blackwell, Zircon, Storm, Potts, Ralph, Felonious T, and Sean. Hello to you early arrivers. How you guys doing? Hello to any assembled lurkers as well that aren't chatting and are just hanging out. Hello to you guys, and hello to anybody who sees this afterwards as well. Hello to you! We are going mega chill today. I'm sure I'll do some ranting because I always rant, but like normal levels, all right? That's how it's gonna be. Kitsune, Loco, VT, James, Yamagoro, what's up? What's up? How you doing? That's right, Kitsune. If you guys were hoping for yesterday's stream, just go rewatch yesterday's stream, cause I blew it all out the pipes, right? So I've expressed that stuff. That was cathartic for me, and I'm just like, yo, I ain't interested in any more of that today. That's for sure. I'm more interested in just chilling and having a good time. Lots of things are up, including the price of magic. You ain't wrong. Lasagna, you want more political videos? You're welcome to want whatever you want. But I wouldn't be holding my breath, son. I wouldn't be holding my breath. I like to make entertaining stuff that I enjoy. And yesterday's live stream was cathartic, but I wouldn't call it a joyful experience, right? So I understand people's desire for stuff like that, but I don't think I'm ever going to be a full-on political commentator kind of guy, right? As you know, I tend to keep that stuff out of the streams, and I'm gonna kind of keep it rolling that way. So I get it that other people are disappointed, but I never wanted to be a political rant channel, and I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna do what I enjoy, right? So maybe every once in a blue moon, if I get we'll do something like that if it ties into something else, but I'm not giving anybody false expectations. Oh, speaking of false expectations, or maybe incorrect expectations, I should clarify a point for anybody who heard the previous Lord of the Board discussions and were like, oh, I'm missing, like, I'm one step away or anything like that. To make it, where is it? To make it in to the box of, like, you make it into the box normally as Lord of the Board, but to make it to the Mega Glory roll, you have to be Lord of the Board 5 times. The Member Lord is nice acknowledgement, but that's not what this is. This is Lord of the Board. So I didn't specify that before, and I figured I should get that information out there before I forget. VT, you can't imagine a political me? Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. I'm better off just joking around, having a good time, and whatever, man. There's plenty of people out there to handle the hardcore politics stuff, right? So, man, it's warm. Hold on, I'm gonna open up the window, cool it down a bit in here. Well, Carly made some awesome soup, and I wolfed a bunch of it down, so that's probably part of the reason that I'm so heated up right now, you know? James, have I ever played Canadian Highlander? Like a long time ago. Here's the thing. Highlander or whatever is fine. It's one-on-one. My problem isn't with Commander. My problem is with multiplayer Magic. Commander as a format is fine. Multiplayer Magic with a bunch of dingbags is not fine. I do not enjoy it in the slightest. Some just dumb tickle fucks going, I'm angry at you because you sat on my bag of Doritos last week, Billy, so I'm going to attack you. And you got the other guy who's over there, I'm going to attack you for one. Sorry, I attacked you. I'm going to attack you for one. Sorry, I attacked you. What? What is this? It's all over the place. Nonsense. My deck isn't that strong at all. I'm a 2 on the power scale. But I do have infinite combos that I'll easily get set up on like the 3rd turn. And it's like, what? I don't consider the cards in my deck to be very powerful. Well, isn't that convenient for you? So yeah, no. I don't like multiplayer games of Magic. I don't like the dumb fuckery that comes as a result of it, where you just go, hey, play properly. Play like you got a fucking brain in your head, right? That's what I'd like. I'd like you to play like you have a brain and you understand what we're doing, right? I don't want it to be like you ate the last scoop of my ice cream and so now I'm angry. It's like, okay, look, man, you know how they tell you to put your personal life aside when you come to work? Can you do that for our game of Magic? Can you take your stupid personal bullshit the fuck out of this casual game of Magic? Thank you. Spurl, no problem, buddy. That's my service to the people. I did a full-on political rant, and unlike previous times where I ranted here or there, I always end up deleting those, right? This one went up for everybody to hear all my thoughts, and honestly, I got it all out of my system, but it didn't leave me happy afterwards. I want you to understand that. This shit did not leave me happy afterwards. I'm happy after other streams. I wasn't happy after that stream. I was genuinely unhappy, and it took time for those emotions to dissipate, and I'm not interested in squirreling myself up all the time for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to repeat the same stuff that I just said again? So I'm glad that we had the opportunity to discuss it all and that it's up, but I'm also glad that we are moving forward to talk about other stuff, right? Because ultimately, I find politics mostly to be incredibly boring, and then the rest of it I find to be mostly just obnoxious. But I don't fault people who want it. You can find it all over the internet. Plenty of enjoyment to be had, but I'm not gonna... There's zero chance that I'm turning into a fucking political commentator. Felonious T, you don't like current power level of commanders, you're getting 4 follow decks and only playing against people with precons? Oh, so you can all use the follow precons. That makes sense. Precons will continue to get more powerful, so you'll probably get to a point you can't even do that. That's right, fellers. It's just a 2. A 200. Lasagna, is that the reason you don't like multiplayers? Because you don't have any friends? It's. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Playing with your friends makes it easier, but if you can play one-on-one Magic with people, I have no problem. It's multiplayer. Magic is not. It's not suited to it. Magic's a one-on-one endeavor, bro. Zircon, yeah, yep. The stream archive, like that, the live stream I did yesterday has been watched thousands. Actually, if there's a number of streams over there that have thousands and thousands of views, which is not what I was anticipating, honestly. I just knew that some people who came to the stream were disappointed that they couldn't watch the entire stream, so I was just putting them up for people afterwards, and I figured that they would probably get 50, 100, 150 views, but that's what the ones that are the least interesting seem to get, and more than that, and the ones that are more interesting get way, way more people. So I'm glad that the live streams are entertaining more people. That's a sweet win. The Hatcher stream channel was a great choice, and honestly, I should have done it before. Doomblade, you missed yesterday's stream. Yeah, it was insanity, bro. If you did not witness it at all, I do recommend you go and check it out because it is ultra megaton insano ranting. You have no concept until you watch it. I went like full fucking atom bomb. And I did think to myself, I'm like, people are going to come back clamoring for this stuff. And I'm like, I'm not doing it, though. That's it. I made spaghetti tonight, but I'm not a pasta restaurant, okay? So we're not having spaghetti tomorrow. Who knows if we're ever having spaghetti again? And the more you get into all the political stuff, the more people want to talk down all these different side alleys and all this crap. And I just, forget it, man. Forget it. You know? So that's why Tonight, it's magical booster pack action. Ho ho! You might have noticed, guys. Tell me, on your end, camera quality looking better, right? Camera quality's looking better. It's looking better. And it should look better when we're looking at the cards too. If this all works out, then we can just keep doing these kind of opening style videos, like live stream. I have the dark booster that Kensuke hooked me up with. And I was sitting there going, well, am I going to make a video with it? Am I going to live stream with it? But the live stream camera quality was the biggest issue I had with the whole like pack opening live kind of deal. And now it seems that I've got that issue sorted. So actually, yeah, take a look. Let me switch it over. Looks pretty solid, doesn't it? Looks pretty solid overall. A lot less blurry than it used to be. What up, Clayton? I'm glad you guys can see that the camera quality looks good on your end. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because that's it. That's the stuff I've been working on. Now that the stream... Before, worrying about the stream quality wasn't super important because they're gone. They exist for 2 hours. Who cares if they're a little fucking blurry or whatever else, right? But I started working on a number of different things. And I got something I'm real excited about. Once the next sponsorship is all resolved, I'll be able to enact my plan for next levelness. So yeah, I've got Ravnica boosters and I've got a Time Spiral booster. The Time Spiral booster is obviously way more exciting than these. And I just went, yep, this counts as a Ravnica booster because they said it's on Ravnica. Clayton, you're free tomorrow. I'll cherish your freedom, buddy. Jugglum, I'm like a new penny. Thanks, man. I'm all shiny. I'm all shiny. Spurl, what about another channel called Perps Politics? Yeah, I mean, I can put the stream over there, and then once every couple of years, you can get an upload. I am not making a dedicated politics channel. I would rather stop doing this altogether. I like being an entertainer. I like making people laugh, but I don't enjoy the political stuff. I may be good at pointing out what's wrong, right? And getting people all, yeah, but I'm not enjoying it, so I'm not going to do it, right? I'm not going to do it. I'm not some fucking political crusader trying to fix the fucking world. I'm just a man who wants to enjoy his fucking cardboard rectangles and was pushed too far. That's it. That's it. So I'm just going to fucking turn right back around to my cardboard rectangles and enjoy myself. VT, you loved my cameo in the promo in the yeah, you liked the Ridgewall at end spot there with my secret wife. It's good times. It's good times. It's fun. There's actually the next sponsorship that I have also has a fun joke at the end. I don't know if you'll really consider it the same level as the Ridge joke because it depends on how it hits for you. But for some people, it's going to be funnier. For some people, it's going to be less funny. And who knows, maybe some people might be upset by it. But what are you going to do, right? Oh, Game Master, yeah, asterisk luxury. At this point, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Well, I mean, at the prices they're charging, just because they're low quality doesn't mean they're not charging luxury prices, right? VT says, can't please everyone, so you gotta please yourself. If you think that you're gonna trick me into jerking off on my fucking stream, all right, let's do it. This is how I'm going off YouTube. I may as well just show everybody my dick, right? Cthulhu, you like my progression series? Thanks, buddy. Wait, whoa. We never said it was a premium product, okay? We just said it's a product you have to pay more for. Calm down. Calm down. So we got 3 little boosties here. The 3 little pigs huffing and puffing. Never seen this channel before? Well, that's because we just started today. Brand new channel. Welcome to my political rant and pasta noodle channel. That's what I specialize in. Pasta noodle rants. VT, yeah, no kidding. No kidding, right? When I read, I was like, wait, careful, this isn't Twitch. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, don't pull your junk out. It's not Twitch. You can get away with a lot more there. Rigatoni review. Tony's a dickhead who's rigging all the games. Oh, there you go. You didn't expect that kind of rigatoni review because I do it like nobody else on the internet. And if you're wondering why I'm stuttering, it's because I spent all my energy banging all your moms last night. Every single one of your guys' moms. When I was done with my rant stream, I had to go on a mom plowing mission. So I borrowed Santa's sled and his time controlling capabilities, and I went on my own Christmas night ride. On your mothers! Okay. Sonia says, that's fine, my mom's a bitch anyways. Yo, talk to her now. I bet she's had an attitude adjustment. I adjusted her innards. Oh, VT, I'll give you your address. No, I don't need people trying to actually hook me up with their mom. I've had that happen before. I've had people go, yeah, I mean, hey, like, I think my mom would like you. And it's like, listen. I'm not going to hook up with your mother. This is really fucking weird what you're doing right now. I'm not going to plow your mom, dude. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? It's fine as a joke, but like as soon as you start trying to hook me up with your mom for real, that's when we have a problem. I ain't interested. Unless your mom's like super hot, then, you know, maybe. Probably not though. Jess, don't be ignorant. Just because your mother is dead doesn't mean she doesn't need love, right? And you don't know. You can say gross, but you don't know if I boiled all the meat off the bones before I did what I did, right? I got Santa Slay. You have no idea how lovingly I treated your mother's skeleton, bro. Very, very lovingly. We literally boned. I literally boned your mom. Oh. Final, it's average goat tickler mood. Sounds about right. Yeah, I'm in a goat tickler mood. Oh, she's ashes. Yeah, after I finished. Oh, because it was so hot, bro. The passion melted her bones to ash in an instant fire of love. It's like, you're not going to get political rants tonight. Instead, you're just going to get other insanity. Did my bones hurt? Only one, if you know what I mean. It was throbbing hard, son. You know, like from Innistrad, the throbbing investigator. I need someone to get a clue, if you know what I mean. I need someone to pay 2 mana and sack it, if you know what I mean. Oh, all right. Enough of that nonsense. Time for this nonsense. You guys ready to go deep inside the best set that Magic's ever made, let alone the best set of 2024? Karlov Manor. Absolutely the best. You heard it here from me. I'm the guy who knows about Magic, and I'm saying unequivocally, best product ever made. Absolutely fantastic. Zero flaws with this. And honestly, Wizards should be charging double the price for it because it's worth it. It's worth it. All right, let's go. If you want to snore my mom, I'll send you some. That is so messed up, dude. Oh, God. This is so stupid. Look at me. I'm a detective dancing down the stairs with a magnifying glass. Oh, I hate it. I hate this with a passion, man. This is garbage. Basic Land's probably going to be the most exciting and enjoyable part of the whole pack, right? Analyze the pollen. This is just some power crept insanity, right? 1 green sorcery as an additional cost to cast it, collect evidence 8. Search your library for a basic land, but if you collected evidence, you can get a creature and put it in your hand instead, or a land. That's a lot for 1 green, it feels like, you know? We got World Souls Rage as well. Red and a green X. Deals X damage to any target. Put up to X land cards from your hand onto the hand or graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. They really are. They really are pushing the power. They really are pushing the power. Pompous Gadabout Fat Pimp. Undercity Eliminator. Like, she goes down into the sewers to take dumps. That's what she means. I must eliminate my fecal waste. Expose the culprit. The culprit's Wizards of the Coast. They did it. Person of interest. I'm a person who's uninterested. I make the dramatic accusation that wizards are a bunch of D-bags. They went this way, up their own ass. But the chase is on. We're going to fly up there after them, boys. And we're going to do a cerebral confiscation. We're going to confiscate all their terrible thoughts about Magic and replace them with desire to have good quality cards. Oh, remember when I talked about the Inspector looking for a clue? Throbbing Inspector right here. Repeat offender. Well, that's just me, son. Oh, a granite witness. I am a witness who is made of stone. So yeah, you know what? That makes perfect sense. This is emblematic of my feeling about Karlov Manor. I have been turned into stone. I've witnessed this and turned to granite. Why is the set symbol a sword and not a magnifying glass? Because a magnifying glass, it's called Murders at Karlov Manor. So it's the whole people dying and getting stabbed thing. That's why. That's why it's got the stabbies, because that's way more exciting to people than a magnifying glass. Magnifying glasses are not exciting in Magic the Gathering. Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, having a bladed weapon for the subterfuge and spy stuff, or not spy, you know what I'm saying. I love how the chase is on. It's like, look, you've got Kea chasing a Trotta, and then they're like, but Kellen caught her. And it's like, why isn't Kellen the armor? Because we stapled him on. Because we stapled him on. So that was my last pack of Karlov Manor. That's the second booster pack that I got from when I went to the pre-release. I had been hanging on to it because, honestly, I didn't really care about opening it. These aren't exciting to open. They're fairly disappointing to open, really, you know? Because they're so muddy, it's hard to enjoy the flavor of them. And one of the things I really enjoy about opening boosters is individually appreciating the cards. So when you can't do that, it sucks a fat bag, right? So let's go to Ravnica that's actually Ravnica, huh? Something that actually has Ravnican feel. All right, got a Gore Clan record, just a big old fighty boy. You got your Loxodon Silvo Starward. Quench. The look on her face is ridiculous. Rubble Slinger. Now that is an evocative name and a cool concept, right? These guys live in the rubble belt. They hate the actual civilized part of Ravnica, so they're literally just going to put little bits of the rubble in their sling, and they're going to whip parts of uncivilized society at the civilized parts. That feels very Gruul, and I like the flavor of it. Tear down the city, lie by lie. Then throw it back at the liars, stone by stone. Yep, I can get behind that. So yeah, that is a cool concept. And look, they have the guild marks as well, which I very much appreciate. We got Dead Revels showing off the Rakdos flavor. 4 mana, it's got Spectacle for 2, and you can bring 2 creature cards from your graveyard back to your hand. So, that makes sense. You've got the Simic with their crazy hybrids and their physical experimentation. Human Lizard Warrior that can go from a 2/2 into a 6/6. That's pretty beefy from the perspective of regular folk. You got a Blade Juggler, again, showcasing the insane nature of the Rakdos and the fact that they like to have these big spectacles where people get injured. Got some goblins starting to fire. Got the Azorius here doing their Law Mage stuff. Do you see how much of Ravnica's flavor is actually illustrated here compared to the Karlov Manor nonsense that we saw? Like, these cards have an identity. Basilica Bellhaunt. There we go. We got the Orzhov. We got so many different guilds we got to see in here. So this is when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and you gain 3 life. That's got the Orzhov feel. They're taken from others, given to themselves. Oh, bro. Seb McKinnon is such an epic artist, bro. His artwork is incredible. And Wizards of the Coast is not very smart for not working with him anymore. 1 black and 1 sorcery is an additional cost to cast a spell. Sack 2 creatures, draw 3 cards. Look at that, man. Your spirits can rest in peace, for your debts are paid. That the Orzhov, sometimes death doesn't even release you from the debts. You can sacrifice your life trying to pay off the debt, and then they go, doesn't actually cover it. You're going to have to serve us as a spirit too. Man, the artwork's insane. It's so good. Gates Ablaze. All right, so you got the Izzets. You got the Izzet setting stuff on fire. Oh, man, come on. Oh, wow. Jank bag rare. Look at that. Verity circle. Ah, well, I'll tell you the truth. That's super disappointing. That's super disappointing. 3 mana, whenever a creature opponent controls become tapped, if it isn't being declared as an attacker, you can draw a card. And then pay 5 mana, tap a creature without flying. This sucks, bro. This sucks. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. We got a hero coming to save the day. Hero Precinct 1. 2/2 human warrior. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. This is solid. That's not too shabby at all. Then we got the Gruul Guildgate. This is awesome. I love the fact that their Guildgate is an actual door with their mark on it, but that's it. It's just a doorway. You don't even have to go through it. You can just walk around it or whatever. It totally screams their flavor. I dig it. And we got us a little Orzhov spirit too. Very nice. Now the Time Spiral is something different. So you know what? I'm actually going to separate that out from those 2 booster packs because those were, the first one was complete suck bag. The second was underwhelming, but did have some nice flavor. Time Spiral is going to get its own separate viewing, not connected to these Ravnicans. Not connected to the garbage of Ravnica. So yeah, Time Spiral has a bunch of cool flavor to it too. It's a really cool concept where the whole block was like the past of Magic reimagined, a reimagined present Magic, and then a different concept for the future as well. It was a really cool block, actually. Back when Wizards used to innovate more, you know? The question is how I want to open that Time Spiral pack, man. So how long can I resist? How long can I resist? VT, you got your first Tarmogoyf from a Future Sight pack? Yeah, they're not worth anything now because the game's power crept so hard. The game has power crept so hard that that Tarmogoyf is outclassed. He's just sitting on the sidelines ball bag. Certain Mike with the super chat saying, hope you're good. Do you ever play Draft? Commander, I saw they're sending BG collector boosters for support of Draft Commander. Oh, do I ever play Draft Commander? No, I can't say that I've ever played Draft Commander. Wait, did we do that for the one set? Maybe. I might have done it once. I feel like I might have done it once. I didn't know that's what they were doing, and I showed up and like got into the event and then found out, and I'm like, oh no. Like once I'm in an event, then I'm just like, well, I don't want to just drop and mess up the numbers and be a knob. You know what I mean? So I might have been in one. But they're sending Baldur's Gate collector boosters for support of Draft Commander. This is the first I'm hearing of this. Does this have to do with Dungeons and Dragons 50th anniversary? Is that what's going on? All right, Certain, you're Lord of the Board, buddy. You've already, just so you know, when we were talking about the box here and the list and all that, you've already made it into the box 3 times, buddy. You've already been Lord of the Board 3 times. So 2 more times throughout the rest of your existence, and you will be mega gloried as well, just so you know. I got I got to list everybody's names here. Oh, actually, yours is right there. I keep track on the paper now because apparently I wasn't doing a good enough job of keeping track of the cards, and I screwed up and completely didn't even notice that both Amto and Florida had already made it in. So I've corrected that, and I've got an ongoing tracker now. All right, we got some guesses going on. 10 minutes is 10 minutes max. That's one guess. Till the drink is gone. You know what? That's a pretty good theory. While I don't have the distraction of my sugar water anymore, will I be lured in by the time spiral? Gerthulu, you are correct. Yep. Power creep has invalidated a good number of Magic cards. 100%. 100%. Okay, so it was for the D&D 50th. Hold on, then. Hold on. Let me note that down. I already have noted down the oversized dungeon to go with it. CB boosters. I'll look into that. Okay, cool. I got a number of different items for... I got a number of different smaller news items to put together into a video, so that is definitely one of them. That new oversized dungeon that they're doing that looks like crazy, massive insanity. I saw that and was like, well, that's funky. I wonder how many of the oversized dungeons they send out. I'm going to have to talk to Buddy over at the LGS. I assume Wizards of the Coast has an article about it somewhere, too. Jess, I don't think people play a lot of counterspells in Commander. I think that counterspells upset people when they get their stuff. People really hate having their stuff countered, and also counterspells can be kind of weak when you have 3 different opponents and you have to try and strategically pick what to counter. So I mean, people will run some sometimes, but I don't think Commander games have a ton of counterspell going on. It seems like everybody just wants to pull their dick out and see who can blast first. Building the pressure. Oh, I did it first. It's all over your chests. Right? Like, that's mostly how I view Commander games. The same event, the post you saw said 4 of the mega dungeons per store. Okay, you saw more than I saw. I'm sure I'll be able to dig up the information, so I will definitely look into that. Kitsune, where you play, these guys only play life gain or counterspells. Life gain isn't annoying to me. Gain as much life as you want. I'm gonna get rid of it all. I don't care, right? But, constant counterspelling can be pretty boring. I get it. If you're playing in like a highly competitive environment, you want to use counterspells, they're a great answer, right? But they are not fun. And there's a certain subset of people who think they're fun, but those are people who like this particular kind of interaction and trying and evading the counterspells and trying to trick the person into using their counters wrong. And I can totally get into that mind state, so I understand it. I've played tons against and piloted tons of control decks, so I see the appeal, but I also recognize it's not mass appeal. And most people are like, fuck you. It's funny how people are like, man, why are people okay with creature destruction but not with counterspell? So I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. I can cast, you can cast your creature, and if before you do anything with it, I destroy it, that bothers you less than if I counter it. They're both just using one card to invalidate your card into the graveyard. And the difference, as far as I'm concerned, is completion, right? Counterspell doesn't let you complete. You're in the middle of the process. You didn't get to finish it. You've been denied even completing the process. Putting the creature out, you finish the process. They destroy it, it doesn't feel nearly as bad because you got to do the thing. You were told no, but after you did the thing, not while you were doing the thing. And it does genuinely mentally impact people. So I understand both mind states. People are like, I love dancing around with counterspells, and people are like, I've got no interest in it. Like, if I'm not playing in a highly competitive environment, if you're playing counterspells or land destruction, you're not playing Magic with me. I'm not interested in playing casual Magic where you try and stop me from playing the game. If that's what you like to do, that's cool, but I don't, so we're not gonna, right? I find land destruction and counterspells to be really obnoxious when it's just like, I'm just going to stop you from doing your stuff. It's like, here you go. If it's not competitive and we're not in a tournament, I'll just give you the win if you want it that bad, you know? That's it. That's it. You know, it got to the point where when I started to build my blue decks, I stopped putting in nearly as many counterspells and I started to put in more bounce and other things. Unless it's for a tournament, then just use the best tools and who cares? I'll crush your spirits with control. It's not about having a fair game. It's about stopping everything you do. It's about breaking your spirit. It's about watching your knees start to shake every single fucking time you sit down across from me, right? Getting up in your head so that you think I always have the answers, even when I don't. I used to mind fuck people and watch them squirm, and it was hilarious to me. But that was in tournaments. I don't do that to people in casual play because it's fucking brutal. But in tournaments, it's about brutality. We're here to win. And if you didn't bring the best tools, I'm going to knock your fucking head off. That's how it goes. So that's it. So I never begrudge anybody in tournaments for bringing whatever they want. But casual, yeah, I definitely have different rules. Different rules. It's like, I'm not playing against your insane garbage. No, thank you. Because if you keep it up, I'm going to switch to insane garbage. And I promise you, whatever it is you think you can do, I can do it worse to you. I remember the one guy who kept insisting on playing land destruction and counterspells. And I think he liked it because he was like noobish and it made him feel like he had some sense of control. And I could play around it, but I felt that it was very tedious and I don't enjoy it. So I said to him, you need to build other decks. I don't like playing against these. And he's just like, nah, he just kind of said, okay, but never did. So I was like, all right, fine. This is what we're going to do. Here's how it goes. I'm going to be a massive dickhead. And I'm going to go, hey, I built Flash Hulk. And you're never going to win another game. I'm going to win either turn 0, turn 1. Late game for me is turn 2. I'm going to win every single game. And I'm going to end them super quickly. You are not going to get any more enjoyment. We're done. We're done. If you want to play counterspells and land destruction, I play Flash Hulk. That's how it works. Here you go. Boom. You lose. Oh, did you try and counter it? Don't worry, I got Force of Will. Fuck you. Like, and so he just got so upset. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. Yeah? Well, how does it feel? Oh, I don't like this. I don't want to play this deck. Okay, no problem. All you have to do is build other decks. And so we would build other decks, and I would play goofy, stupid dwarf decks and caribou decks and stuff. And then inevitably he'd start to reach for the counterspell deck and the land destruction deck, and I'd just be like, reach over for my Flash Hulk. Are we doing this? Like, how many times do I need to beat you inside of 5 minutes before you put those decks down? Because that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. You can play whatever you want. I can play whatever I want. That's the rule. So if you want to turn this into non-interactive Magic, because counterspelling and destroying my lands is just you jerking off on me, yeah, no. Going, well, you got to cast your spell and I counter, it counts as interaction. No, actually, it really doesn't. People want to tell themselves that because they're the ones doing the countering. But not really. It's not the same. So, Zircon sounds a lot like Rule 0. Well, Rule 0 is before the game, right? After, when you tell your friend that their deck is absolute fucking bullshit and it's a miserable experience to play with, I don't know, man. It's a completely different thing, right? Rule 0 is sit down ahead of time and make sure you can all agree on the right way to hug. Where afterwards you can go, your deck is miserable bullshit. And if you don't stop with your miserable bullshit, I will force misery into you in a way that you cannot comprehend. You haven't been playing nearly as long as me. And you don't want this. You know what I mean? So Flash Hulk eventually broke him of those habits. And he stopped playing garbage that I hated playing against. Why would you want to play against that? Sure, it's fun to be the one doing it, but it's not fun to be the one having it happen to you, is it? Do you not like not getting to play Magic, buddy? Do you not like not getting to play your cards? Well, that's what you were doing to me, huh, Sunshine? Huh? You don't get to put the rectangles you want on the board. You don't like how fast I beat you. I'm not playing the way I want. That's it. Fuck you, man. Like, casual Magic is supposed to be fun. And if you insist on playing a dickhead deck when the other person doesn't want to, they're just not going to play with you, or they're just going to turn into a dickhead and everyone's going to be miserable. Right? That's it. That's it. Oh, Jess, you saved your buddy's cards, but they end up getting lost anyways. That's rough, man. That's rough. Well, you know what? You know that you did your part. You tried to help somebody Don't feel like you did anything wrong or it was a waste. It's never a waste to help somebody, even if later on they get hosed, they squander it, whatever. It's not wrong to be a good person, dude. So don't feel like you made a mistake, you know? Rasoli Oli Oli coming in to bring up MetaZoo. What the hell's that? I know. Something from a million years ago. Meta? Meta what? MetaZoo. You mean that stuff that I have a bunch of in my closet? I have a box of Hello Kitty MetaZoos? Yeah. Don't I? Do I? What do I? I have a bunch of MetaZoo stuff. Hell, right over here on the shelf I've got... I got poker decks. I got the special influencer MetaZoo card that they sent out to MetaZoo influency guys. And it says, this benefits include being listed on our official social media or whatever's cooler in the future. Whap, whap. There is no future. There is no future. VT, you want everyone to play, not just one person? Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I said, tournaments, anything goes. Outside tournaments, you got to be reasonable. We're both here to play and have fun. I don't need to win. I'm happy to lose, actually. Like, I don't care. I like a good back and forth more than anything. That's what I find genuinely satisfying. In a tournament, easy wins are also acceptable because they're moving me towards a goal that is satisfactory. But when it comes to non-tournament, just good interaction. I played a great game today on Arena playing against the... What were they playing? They were playing... what was it they were playing? Were they playing Black Blue? Either way, the game had an awesome back and forth on it was right down to the wire where I only survived at one life, like right at the end. I can't remember if they were playing Black Blue or if they were playing the White Red. I don't know, but it was it was just a very sad. At the end of the game, I was like, that's great. And when whether I win or lose one like that, I love it. The back and forth where it feels like anybody. I like games where everybody has a chance, and it feels like it's not inevitable. You know what I mean? Rosolio, diamond hand them boxes? Why would I do that? MetaZoo is trash. I'm keeping them for dead TCG openings and stuff. If I could sell these to somebody, that's what I would have done. I'd be like, yo, will you buy these? Zircon, yeah, competitive EDH, obviously anything goes. That's the nature of it, right? Yeah, McGraw, you don't like Denying Wind. Doesn't that card like 9 mana or something? Doesn't it cost an obscene amount of mana? Gerthu, you remember lots of EDH players playing casual games using infinite turn 2 loop win decks? Turn 2 loop win decks. I'm wondering why no one wants to play with them. It's like, but I'm having fun. Sit down so I can do this again. It's about me. And it's like, no, if we're not playing in a tournament, it's not just about you. And that is not the attitude to have. Rays, you found that playing Cube is more equal and satisfying. Playing Cube is fantastic. It's absolutely awesome. And you're right. It does have a great level of equality to it. You may not get the exact same power level, but you have access to the same power pool. And with Cube, you can goldfish your way, not just out of a bad situation, but straight up into a win. I love putting crazy shit in the Cube, like uncards like Mirror Mirror, where you literally swap places with your opponent. Mirror Universe just trades life totals. Mirror Mirror trades everything. So it's awesome to have one of those. And just, yeah, go ahead, wail on me. Mess up all my stuff. Mirror, mirror, you did a really good job of fucking up my board state. I really admire your board state. So, yeah, here, I'm going to activate the mirror. You get up, I get up, and we'll just switch seats. Oh, it's so good. It's so good just sitting there going, you don't even know what I'm about to do to you. You don't even know what I'm about to do. Destroy all my stuff, set it all up. Mirror, mirror, bitch, here we go. Nathan says things a little quieter here tonight. Yes. Well, first of all, we're not on the Magic Historian, right? Secondly, we're not doing a big old rant stream, right? It's a casual, chill, opening boosters kind of night. Close ones feel the best. Exactly, Felonious T. Exactly. CDH is just draw and see who won. I mean, if the decks are built right, pretty much. Zircon, yeah, I mean, if somebody has a combo they just want to show off and do it in one game, whatever. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I do weird nonsense where I'm like, yo, I'm going to build a deck based on Divine Intervention. I entered into a tournament once where the entire goal was to not win a single game, but also not have my opponents win any game. I was there to create harmony by tying every single match using Divine Intervention. So the deck was all Circles of Protection, Runes of Protection, Divine Intervention, and I'm like, yo, putting this out, 2 turns the game's over, tie. And they're just trying to wail through my circles and stuff, and I'm like, like just board wipes and crap. I had no win cons. No win cons. It was all just slow the game down until I can make it a tie. And the deck was called Hug. I just want to be friends, bro. I just want to be friends. Jess, yeah, mind slaving somebody when you can really mess up their board when they have something that can sack to. Mind slaving somebody who has like a Zurin Orb or something like that out feels so good. It's just like, I'm going to take your turn. Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with you gaining 20 life and sacking all 10 of your lands. You're at 40 now. You're at 40 and you have no lands. Also, in the cube, it's even more fun because you play the cards in your hand face down as lands. So you can be like, I'm going to pick your best spell and turn it into a land. Like, it's just great. It's just great. Oh, I don't have a Mind Slaver in my current cube. I just realized that. What up, Wes? How you doing, buddy? Just excited you can say hello and MIT. Yeah, there was so many people in the stream yesterday. Most of the comments didn't even get a chance to read them. They were just... I have no idea how people deal with these undulating streams with thousands and thousands of people in it. How are you even... How? Right? Like, it's crazy. Most I've ever had to deal with 750. And I found that to be insane. Yesterday's stream took a bunch of my energy, bro. Today is just chilling. Today is just chilling. All right. You know what? I've lasted long enough. I think we've gone long enough. We can do the time spiral now. How's the switch into Kool-Aid going for streams? Is it helping? Yeah, actually, not having the caffeine is definitely helping me sleep better. So, let's see here. Bam. Zircon, is there a member mode? Yes. Would I use it? No. I don't want to say to people coming to the stream, you can only talk to me if you pay me, right? Like, I've tried to make access to virtually everything I do completely free, and people can just pay what they value it at if they want to. You know, I may joke about people giving me money, but I never demand it, and I just feel like that's just excluding people, you know? I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me personally. I'm not judging other people who do it. Everyone makes their own choices, and who knows? Maybe in the future, I might feel differently. But at this juncture, I've never done a members-only stream that I can recall, unless I did one like years and years ago or something. But I don't like making people feel excluded. I used to lose sleep over muting people on my channel. I used to lose sleep over excluding people from the live streams, like genuinely. And then I had to tell myself, you're being ridiculous. What are you doing? Like, these people acted up and had it coming. You don't owe everybody the ability to just come and be knobs to you, right? You don't want to say people have to pay to be here, but you don't have to put up with people's nonsense and feel bad that you had to remove somebody who doesn't know how to behave. Nathan, I'm glad you enjoyed it, buddy. Internet famous and must treat the plebs accordingly. Look, here's how it goes. I am just a regular, everyday dude. But I've learned that when I meet people in person, to play it up for them, right? Like, when I met them at first, I'd be like, I'm just a regular dude. There's no need to act all excited and like it's a big deal. But now I get that it's like, what am I doing? This is a moment. And if you can feel like it's a moment and it makes you happy, why would I take that away from you? That's fucking stupid, right? That's dumb. This person's excited to see you, and you're taking something that's exciting for them and turning it into nothing. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So if somebody feels like meeting me is a big deal, then I'll play it up like it's a big deal. Hell yeah, I'll lean into it. Yeah, that's how it goes, right? Like, that makes perfect fucking sense. You want to feel special? Hell yeah, buddy. Feel special. And I will admit, it is pretty fucking cool to have somebody stop walking when they see you and watch their jaw drop involuntarily, like they, I can't believe you're here. And it's just like, you know what? This is how everybody should react to me, honestly. I am that amazing. VT, you appreciate the chat. You ordered the pins a while back, but only got one pin. Did you do that? You could order one or you could order a set of 3. I didn't have anything to do with the ordering system or any of that, so I can't clarify any of that for you. If the pin thing gave you an email address to contact, you can try and contact them, but basically the pin thing was like an ill-fated merch. So those pins are super limited edition. There won't be any more of them. The whole thing just kind of fell apart. Like, I'm not going to get paid for those pins. I get none of the money. It is a lot. Like, the person behind putting the pins out or whatever, as far as I understand, is just eating a loss on the entire thing. So people got their pins. I'm happy they got their pins, but I don't know what you ordered. I don't know if it was fulfilled properly, and I have no capability to resolve it for you. I hope you enjoy the pin, though. I do like the pins. Following see your first box was Time Spiral. Oh, all right. You don't care about the pins? You just wanted to support me and like the pins? I like people having the pins. I don't care that I didn't make any money off of it. I'm more excited about people having my merch than I am about the money. I do like money and I do need money, but like, it's cool, man. So I'm going to assume that you probably just ordered one pin and got sent one pin, because I don't think anybody got the wrong orders, and there were 1-pin sets and 3-pin sets. You could either get 1 or 3. So yeah, I don't know. You can always go back and double check the info with it if you want to, but sorry, bro. Yeah, Nathan, yep, buddy, I know. Not everybody is going to resonate with yesterday's stream. I've had some people getting angry with me over it, but what are you gonna do, man? I shared my fucking opinions. If you don't agree, that's cool. That's cool. I ain't here to tell you gots to, but obviously this isn't you because you ain't like this. But the people getting upset at me, they're not gonna change my opinions. So you can't anger me into feeling like I'm wrong over what I said, because I ain't. But I got it out of my system, right? I noticed that it had all built up and it would kind of iterate on itself a little bit here or there. And so I'm like, you know what? We're just going to blow it all out the line. And it worked great. It worked great to get it out of my head, but it really did leave me like emotionally amped and wonked afterwards. So today I've been a little like more low key. 3 Norn the Waries and 2 Squires in your extra sheet cards. That's what they do. That's what they do. Oh, that's right. Juglin's right. There are the Magic Historian deck boxes now too. All kinds of fun stuff. People have already been receiving their deck boxes as well. Jess, you're not smart enough to remember my opinions other than I don't believe in aliens and Bigfoot. That's right. I'm probably not smart enough to remember my opinions either. VT. Oh, well, I'm glad you got the pin that you wanted the most, bro. Gianna, you love Time Spiral? Well, you're in the right place because we're about to spiral. All right, let's go. Let's go. Got a sliver right out the gates. Time Spiral bought a bunch more slivers to Magic, which made people happy. The flavor text. As the time streams grew more and more unstable, Dominaria's creatures struggled to adapt. The intense pressures led to many dead ends, but also to lethal new forms that appeared as suddenly as the ashen rains. New slivers for the hive. Tendrils of corruption. Look at the look of panic on this guy's face as he's trying to hack at these shadowy tentacles made of pure corruption of the bogs and swamps. That's just embracing them. Even swamps need sustenance. We will give it to them, and in turn, they will sustain us. And that's Ezrith, Druid of the Dark Hours. Oh yeah, a corrupted evil druid. That's funky. Think twice. Just draw cards twice. It's got flashback. It's all right. Oh, we've got the penumbra creatures. So there's a number of these guys. And basically, once the creature dies, you get an extra copy of it as a token. It's weak by today's standards. 2 green and 2 for a 2/4 that has reach. And when it dies, you get a 2/4 black spider creature token that has reach. It's all right. It's all right. It's a fun concept. Flavor text says, when it snared a passing cockatrice, its own soul darkly doubled. I do like that. I like the fact that it's like it's its soul coming out, the corrupted soul of the spider. Errant Doomsayers, showing you what's going on with the humans in this time frame here, where basically you've got the salt plains and stuff just whipping around salt storms, and it eats away at their skin and their clothes. So they have to wear like thick clothing that all gets worn away by it because it's essentially flying sandpaper. Drifter Ildal. This is 1 for a 2/1 that you have to pay 1 mana for each turn. It's got Shadow, and this is a callback to those shadow creatures that were caught between the planar overlay. Subterranean Shambler is an elemental. It's like a cliff that just started to walk along. That's pretty cool. We got another sliver, one that'll invade your mind, the Mind Lash sliver. That's all right. Havenwood Worm, 7 mana, 5/6 flash trample. It's crap. It's crap. Time rifts bring tunneling beasts of old into the hard, dry earth of the present. Most die there trapped, but the mightiest burst through the surface. Dun dun dun. Chameleon Blur. 4 mana, prevent all damage that creatures would deal to players this turn. So they'll still fight each other. Oh, I guess planeswalkers too. What is the artwork? The artwork has always been crazy to me. I've never really figured out what I'm looking at 100%. I still don't know. It's some crazy abstract insanity. I guess it makes sense. It's supposed to be a Chameleon Blur. Plated Pegasus. Look at this. 3 mana for a 1/2 flyer. It's got flash. If a spell would deal damage to a creature or player, it does 1 less. It prevents 1 damage of that. This is awful. This is awful. Knight of the Holy Nimbus. This is a toss back to the Clergy of the Holy Nimbus. I remember using Clergy of the Holy Nimbus back in the day. 2 white for a 2/2. It's got flanking. If Knight of the Holy Nimbus would be destroyed, regenerate it. Pay 2 mana. It can't be regenerated this turn. Only an opponent can play this ability. So these guys have endless regeneration unless the opponent spends mana to shut it off. And that was the Clergy of the Holy Nimbus from Legends that originally did that. It was 1 white for a 1/1, and your opponent could pay 1 to stop it from regenerating. Then we got Nightshade Assassin. 2 black and 2 for a 2/1 with first strike. When it comes into play, you can reveal X black cards in your hand. If you do, target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. And it's got Madness, so that's not too shabby. Oh, cool! The rare is Evangelize. 1 white and 4. It is a sorcery with a buyback of 2 and 2 white, so you can pay total of 9 mana and put the spell back into your hand when you're done. Gain control of target creature of an opponent's choice that he or she controls. So basically, this is a sorcery version of the ability that Preacher had. The Preacher creature from the dark could tap to take your opponent's creatures, but they had to choose which one, basically, because the Preacher was evangelizing, and they would listen to him and follow his words. And now you have it in spell form. This is a fun one once you get it rolling. It does cost a lot of mana, but it is a lot of fun when it gets rolling. Oh, the time-shifted card. Vadi Ildal, the Betrayer. 1 green, 1 black, and 2. It's 3/3. Tap. Target creature's power toughness becomes 1 until end of turn. He is a little cowardly betrayer. Sir, I just thought, explained Vadi. Don't think, interrupted Grevin. It doesn't suit you. Grevin ends up throwing Vadi Ildal like off the airship they're on. Just, goodbye, time to die. And just throws him off the side. It's absolutely crazy. So that's not too bad. I mean, these aren't big money cards. Definitely not. They're not big money cards, but they are big flavor cards. So that is sweet. I definitely dig that. Not too shabby at all. Do I remember banding? Who couldn't? Who wouldn't remember banding? Ned, when Magic Lore was cool. Yeah, man. You don't know why they got rid of banding? The reason they got rid of banding is because banding creates the worst landlocked board states imaginable. Like, you know how bad it is when you're playing a limited game and everybody just has creatures on the board and people have a bunch of 2/4s and 3/3s where you just go, this math is terrible. I can attack with a bunch of creatures. Nobody's going to get through. I might lose a creature, or we're just going to slap each other and never get anywhere, right? So banding adds way more onto that, because one creature with banding on the defensive side, like you only need one bander for as many group blockers as you want to use, and you get to decide how the damage is dealt. So banding turns landlocked board states into like 10 times as quagmired. That's why. A Morphin EDH deck to use Kaldheim Sagas, a third Sagas, a third Changelings, and a third Slivers. It plays like a Sliver deck. Well, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? You have 2/3 Slivers, because Changelings are Slivers, right? So, of course, it's going to feel like a Sliver deck. The Sliver part's going to be the most coherent. Banding isn't that complicated. It really isn't. It's just a matter of you can attack in a group. And when you're on the defense, you only need one bander in the group. When you're attacking, you can only have one guy who's not a bander in a group. And it means you get to decide how the damage is dealt. Anybody can be blocked in the band. The whole band's blocked. They just work as a group. It's not that complicated, honestly. It really isn't. People just overcomplicate it in their mind. But yeah, I used banding back in the day. I loved it. Are you kidding me? It's awesome. It's like, so let me get this straight. I can swing with my Force of Nature, and I can band a Timberwolves to it. And then you can try and block it with all these creatures to kill my Force of Nature, and I can have all that damage done to my Timberwolves. Eat it. Or get a Timberwolves, put an Aspect of Wolf on it. Now I've got a 4/5 Timberwolf that I can put some of the damage on. It's awesome. Awesome. I like banding. But yeah, it totally just locks down. Like, you end up, you got flyers? You're gonna need flyers. You're just gonna need flyers. You need evasion. It's too much for the average player. You're not wrong. It's having abilities that work differently on the attack and the defense isn't a great idea. You want something uniform. That's one of the big things. The hope was the sagas that reference angels and giants would work with all the changelings, and the slivers would make the changelings good enough. But it's just a sliver deck with some stuff stapled onto it. Sounds about right. Early Magic was a different game. Yep. Carry, I don't like flanking. I found flanking to be a really, really underwhelming ability overall. Didn't dig that one. West, the judges still exist or what? The Judge Academy is gone. As far as I understand, I think they're just done. And no, Wizards. I don't think Wizards has. I think they might have a handful of judges that they call on to run particular events, but there's no more Judge Academy. Gerthulu, that's correct. Banding does remove the evasion on attackers unless they all have it. That's true. So flying becomes irrelevant if not everything flies. It's not like if you banned a creature in a Mesa-Pegasus, that guy can get on the Mesa-Pegasus and fly. The Mesa-Pegasus has to walk on the ground with the dude. That's how it works. That is the way that it works. So banding was fun, but ultimately there's no problem with them getting rid of it. A lot of stores don't really need judges. The person who owns the shop can act as a judge. It's really easy to handle most disputes, and at the end of the day, the truth is, it only really matters that you make a ruling, and it doesn't really matter that much if you get it perfect or not, because it don't matter if you're slightly off, you know? Like at a pre-release or something, As long as you got uniform rules. It's the same way that when we started and there were no judges. You just kind of sorted it out, right? Certain, yeah, they like to. Well, I mean, they like to have other people running events as much as possible because it does make it easier for them, for sure. Game Master, what am I going to do with the cards that were open? Put them with my other Magic cards. Well, some stuff will go in the cube, like Evangelize. Absolutely going in my cube. That's going in my cube for sure. But yeah, I have all kinds of different boxes of Magic cards and stuff because I'm a Magic player who collects magical cards. On top of that, these, like for example, the Time Spiral booster was sent to me by Brian Tinsman, the dude who was like, he worked on a bunch of Magic sets, right? Like he was like the lead designer on sets and stuff. So the cards that can go in the cube will go in the cube, and the rest end up back in the wrapper, put into a team bag, and put in a box. So the newer stuff, like the Markov Manor, and the Ravnica Allegiance stuff, will just be intermingled with my regular Magic stuff. This will be kept in its own separate thing. Nathan, yeah, you know what, buddy? Having a whole bunch of sagas going off, that can definitely be fun. Certain you love going through your cards to make decks. Sometimes I just like going through them for the flavor. So yeah, man, I like having these little like nostalgic parts of Magic's past, and I have no idea when I'm going to encounter these kind of boosters again. So I've just been making a habit of keeping any of the ones that are past a certain age level. The more recent stuff where it's all indicative of how Little Wizards cares and it doesn't feel special, there's no real need for me to keep that because I'm not going to ever look back nostalgically at this and go, man, I have great memories about this, and like it added to my enjoyment of my magical journey. Most of my memories of Karlov Manor will be derision, disappointment, you know, concern for the game that I enjoy so much and its longevity. That's more along the lines of what the newer sets engender in me. Oh, Gianna, you want to get a Preacher, Exorcist, and Witch Hunter? Well, that shouldn't be too tricky. That shouldn't be too bad. Preacher, that's a good one. People do like that one. Jugglim, no problem, buddy. Glad you enjoyed it. I got more boosters. I got more boosters for future times, too. We still have, in the booster box, we still have the following boosters left to open. We've got the Zendikar block still. So we got all three boosters from the Zendikar block. And we've got Odyssey. And we've got Urza's Legacy. And we've got Stronghold. And we've got The Dark. So those are the booster packs that we still have yet to open and appreciate. Gianni, you got a foil False Prophet? False Prophet's fun. I remember having one of those in the cube, man. He gets wiped out and he wipes everybody out. You like basically lemmings him off a cliff. Last set you added to your personal collection was Dominaria. Oh, I am hopeful for a time where Magic returns more to form. I'm hoping that Bloomborough is going to be a delight. What up, Kebby? How you doing? Yeah. Man, how long ago was Time Spiral? Oh, did I rip the date off? I guess I did. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head exactly when Time Spiral block was. Wes, you're super excited by the Eldrazi. A lot of people are. I liked the Zendikar block, and that actually was like the Zendikar block was when that was part of the time I was living in Toronto. So I have distinct memories of the Toronto subway and sitting cracking boosters and looking at like just staring at the big mythic Eldrazi's and being like, these guys are so nuts and crazy. Oh, check one of the cards. That's a good suggestion. You're right. It will be printed on the card. Surprised I didn't think of that. 2006. Oh, I was thinking earlier than that. Huh. All right. I would have guessed 2003 or 2004 if I had been pressed, so. Gotta get it back in here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's no story behind Emrakul coming back out of the moon, bro. They had the artwork kicking around, and they're like, okay, we're going to put Emrakul in this set, so use the moon artwork because we're not going to bother. We're not going to bother explaining all this nonsense anymore. And who knows if the Eldrazi are going to get, like, their own story appearance ever again. So Wizards just going to keep putting them in side products to, like, go, hey, you like Eldrazi, here's more Eldrazi, but not actually expound upon their lore or anything else? John, you thought Trapped in the Moon was a really cool way to resolve the story. It felt random to me, where it was just like, and Emrakul then grabs Tamio and is like, put me in the moon! And then she does. Or it's just like, okay. It felt random. It felt random to me. See, I am surprised that they haven't at all done any more story stuff with the Eldrazi. I mean, aside from that little bit of them influencing Innistrad for like Eldritch Moon, right? That was it. Gatewatch era storytelling. You're right. And you know what? I never thought that I would miss Gatewatch storytelling level, but then they got into the next level and I'm just like, oh no. Oh no. Can we go back? Can we go back? Magic's going to turn into Weeb Schwarz? It definitely seems like it. It definitely seems like it. Just slap whatever IP you want over top of it and just go, there you go. Magic's this now. It's Pizza Hut magic. It's KFC magic. I summon a chicken wing. I cast malnutrition on you. I give you gut rot. You gotta go. You gotta put 3 toilet counters on your creature, and he's stunned for 3 turns because he's stuck on the John from the Taco Bell. Right? He's got the runs. Put 3 runs counters on him. Oh, muy Chihuahua Taco Bell. No, DJ Sombrero, the Eldrazi aren't mindless. They definitely have malevolent minds. They have a consciousness, and they are not the size of Godzilla. They are so big that only a small fraction of their physical being, of their essence, can actually enter any plane. The Eldrazi exist inside the Blind Eternities, and the amount of the Eldrazi you're seeing in the set is the equivalent of my finger. That's it. Like this, when you see Emrakul, we're just seeing the finger that is like Emrakul's finger coming into the world. I mean, it looks like the full-on Emrakul, but that's what the Eldrazi are. They are insane, gigantic beasts, like way beyond the scale of Godzilla because they're too big for the multiverse, right? They can't enter the multiverse in any meaningful fashion. They can only stick their finger in and swirl it about. Kevin, yeah, it's Teo lore. That's right. Teo's toilet tokens. Yamagoro, a red dwarf commander deck? That feels pretty niche. I don't know. See you later, Wes. After what did the Phyrexians No Stories probably for the best? Karlov Manor had more effort put into its story than a bunch of previous sets did. So they said they were going to spend more time and money on lore, and they did, but for a set that they didn't spend more time on. So if they fix the sets but actually do more effort on the level of Karlov Manor with future sets, the lore might be okay. That's a big if. That is a big if. If I owned Wizards of the Coast, wouldn't I try and give more support to Commander than Standard, since it would theoretically be a bigger moneymaker if it was the premier format? Well, Commander is something that evolved up on its own. And no, I don't think taking a direct hand in it actually made things better, especially since Wizards wants to do half measures. They want to play Magic is all about Commander, and we're going to make a million products for it, but we do not accept any responsibility for the format. We're going to go, oh no, there's a rules committee and they're the ones who make the decisions, while at the same time going to the rules committee and going, hey, we're about to put out an unset and we want you to make it legal in Commander for a month. And then the committee's like, okay. And it's like, okay, so Wizards gets the best of both worlds, where they can sell stuff for Commander, but then go, we don't even do bannings for it. We don't manage that format. And no, ultra focusing on Commander was a huge mistake. The game has not benefited from it. So no, if I was in charge of Wizards of the Coast, knowing what I know and actually being given the freedom to do what I want by actually being in charge, then absolutely not. Commander is not the way. It is not. It's not normal Magic. It's a crazy side beast that grew out on its own. It's a different thing. I would focus on keeping Standard working. I would make sure that things worked that way and progressed from there. And then treat all the other formats to some stuff too, if they want, but through a healthy standard, right? Because that worked for decades. So I would go with what works instead of this exploitative, like, I don't think people realize how fucked Commander is, but look at the commanders they make now. They are autopilot commanders. You don't have to think at all. They just go, put squids in your deck. I got the Squid Lord. When I have 3 squids out, all my squids get +3/+3 and have haste, and every time they hit your opponent, they draw 4 cards. Oh, but when I have 5 squids out, 2 of my opponents auto lose the game and I gain 10,000 life. And it's just like, what? Oh, he also has the ability, pay a colorless mana, search for a squid and put it into your hand. If you spend a green mana this way, put it directly into play. You're like, the stuff they're making is so broken and paint by number style that more and more people are going to get into Commander to do the standardized sort of doing this or whatever. Commander becomes more homogenous, loses what it was, and people just bounce and go, this is just power crept insanity. And this, you're not going to have casual games. It will all become basically competitive EDH. The game needs power control and balancing, but Wizards doesn't want to do that. The perfect excuse to not give a shit about anything is to go, the most important thing is Commander. That's what everybody plays and whatever. But look what thinking like that did to Standard. And look at how they're scrambling now to try and rebuild Standard, right? Like, it is ignorant. And here's the truth. Standard players, constructed players, all that stuff, they buy way more product. Commander players want a couple of singles for their deck. They don't need to buy a box. They don't need to get 4 ofs. They don't need to be constantly engaged. They can ignore set after set if they want to. They can not change their decks. All of it. Wizards is being stupid. Going, yeah, this is the main thing. Hey guys, why is nobody playing Standard? Why aren't we able to sell all these Standard boxes anymore? Commander players by themselves can't support Magic properly, right? Like that's the reality that Wizards of the Coast is fucking realizing. You know how you know that? Because if it was the way, they wouldn't be trying to revitalize Standard, would they? Why would they spend all the time and money trying to get Standard working if Commander was the way, right? But no, they turned around and turned all the game stores into locations where everyone went to play Commander instead of Friday night. You want a Standard event? We don't even do that anymore, right? Oh, but no, you want a Standard deck? Don't worry, we're selling Commander decks along with the Standard set. What? Do you have actual Standard decks to go with it? No, we stopped making those. Only Commander decks. It's like, what? It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I am not of the mind that Commander is the biggest moneymaker for Wizards, right? Like, I don't see it. But they went full steam ahead with it. Reduce the amount of planeswalkers, make 500 different legendary creatures a year. But the thing is, with the power level they're making in these commanders, the only way to shift people into new commanders will be to make more and more powerful commanders with more and more insane abilities. That's it. Like, having Wizards pick commander as the big format is just terrible news for commander players, because now they're spending all their time trying to figure out how to hose you into buying cards, and also trying to figure out how to like give you the least for the most amount of money, and give you no choice. Give you no choice but to get these, right? They probably have a plan internally where they are power creeping particular staples for Commander bit by bit, because you don't want to do it all at once. Like, Arcane Signet was a huge fucking mistake, right? Arcane Signet, just now, how are you going to sell all your fucking diamonds and talismans and shit, guys? How are you going to include those into decks and have them matter? Arcane Signet. Now we got to put Arcane Signet and everything, along with Sol Ring. It becomes an auto-include, because you're insane. You'd be insane not to use Arcane Signet, right? So they made that to try and get us into Brawl, because they were afraid of Dominaria being a failure. And now it's just in Commander, and it exists. And I bet very much that while they're power creeping commanders and stuff, they're trying to find ways to not overpower their mana rocks and everything too much. Just enough to get you to get the new one, but not the end iteration, you know? JVT Super Chat says, thanks for being cool, perp. Here's some support. Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Also, you lord of the board. You lord of the board, son. You made a typo? That's all right, man. Like you said thanks for being cool. I can be cool about the misspelling of my nickname. It's kind of amazing to me that the perp nickname has stuck around for years after I stopped having purple hair or being MTG purple. I mean, I still do have a pretty heavy purple theme with the channel too, so. All right, JVT. I gotta say, man, your name's real easy to write on the board. I do like it. Brawl is dead, right? Brawl is dead in paper. In digital, it's not, because people play it on Arena. So Brawl is Arena's commander. But Wizards is apparently looking at trying to get 4-player Magic onto Arena. Can you imagine? I would rather get kicked in the dick 15 times than play Commander on Arena. I'm going to sit here, right? Doing nothing, staring at the screen, while some dickhead who has 2 fucking computer monitors is off watching some fucking hentai or something. And then he goes, oh wait, I got to flick back to my screen for a second to do my turn. And so then you can tell, just like you see the flick as they come back into the game, right? And so it's like, I'm going to wait through 3 people doing that before I get my turn? And how many times do I have to click resolve and all this other stuff through everybody's fiddly turns? All of it? No. I would rather drink bleach that was filled with like ground up glass than play a 4-player game of Commander on Arena. Like I play against people. You wait forever. It's your turn. Go. It's your turn. Go. It's your turn. Go. Now, I don't spam any of that. I'm just thinking, are you going to fucking go? And then eventually their hand lights up and they lay a land. And that's it. And it's like, where are you? What are you doing? Fuck you. So yeah, I got to sit there while all that like Arena's too buggy to trust it with more than a 2-player game. It's so buggy that I'm trying to do those goals where it's like cast X white spells, cast 20 white spells to get white or blue spells to get your 500 gold, right? So I'm trying to do that. Oh, look, the time thing's running down. Oh, timer's running down on your opponent, but then it gets to the bottom, and instead of actually going boop and going to the next timeout, it just goes fizzle, 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 fizzle. And then you go, what's this? Oh, and it means, oh, you're not connected anymore or something. And you're like, okay, I'll leave and I'll come back in, because that's how it used to work. If something like that happened, you jump out of the game, jump right back in. It takes you back into the match. Doesn't do that anymore. The match never existed. It's not there anymore. Plus, every spell you cast doesn't count. So if you cast 10 spells in that game and we're there for 25 minutes, guess what? You didn't cast 10 spells. Eat a dick. Juggum says the hentai's on the first screen, Arena's on the second. You're probably right. They'll find a way to monetize multiplayer to be 50 gems to play or something stupid. I think that they'll have I think they'll have a free-to-play version, and then they'll have a bunch of different events you can get into, Ned. I doubt that they'll just make it a pay event because they want people on there, right? So, like, you want people free playing because you're going to have whales on there who are going to want to play Commander with people, and they need people to play against. So, the free play players exist to basically be incentive for the whales to be there. That's the idea. You can't have whales if you don't have a bunch of krill for them to try and eat, you know? The game is buggy that people can force you to lose. I haven't seen that. The only way you can force me to lose is when I'm just, I guess not really force me, but when I'm just like, it's not worth my time to sit here and wait for this. I don't care. Goodbye. And I just leave the game. Jess, you know what? That's a good question. Because I didn't even think about it. That's why. You're like, yo, why do we have this set up? And it's like, because I forgot to switch back. So, good on you for pointing it out. Maybe multiplayer with starter decks is free. Bro, I love the starter deck stuff. I have played with those starter decks virtually every day. And if you want my opinion, the absolute most busted of the two decks, the red-white deck and the white-blue deck. That white-blue soldier deck is powerhouse on the scale of those decks. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's the best deck. White-red is the second best, and if your luck goes right, the white-red is better, but like the white-blue, you can if you play it right, you can win a ton of your matches, bro. Like it's got there's very few things it can't handle overall. So that's my go-to. I've been using the white-blue soldier deck, and I've been vibing on it. It's great. I like the lower power level overall as well. I like the vibe of it. And it's funny to see the different scale of players, where some games you're just like, okay, yeah, this guy's been playing for a while, you can tell. And sometimes you're just like, oh, this noob is fucked. Bro, sorry, I am going to beat you to death horrifically. Like, I played against a guy today, he put out that Gitu dude, the Gitu alchemy guy, who's like, remove a card from your hand to get a card that costs more from your deck, right? It seeks a card that costs more, and then you can cast it to your next turn. So he puts that out, and then chooses, when he has 2 mana, to remove a spell that costs 2 from his hand. And it's like, you just removed your second turn play from your hand to get your Gandalf removed, and he costs 5. It's like, you're hosed, right? Playing creature spell kills on the wrong creatures and stuff, like all of it, where it's just like, man, in one way I'm envious of you because you've just found magic and you're on the start of an epic journey. But on the other hand, from the top ropes, he's coming down with both elbows. I will destroy you like a vengeful god. No mercy. Actually, I will be real. When I see somebody who seems like they're new, I don't go full vicious. I don't just like, I'm going to capitalize. I'm like, I'm going to win this game either way. So let's just like, let's be casual, chill about it. Let them have some fun destroying some of my stuff too. I don't want to just steamroller them to the point where they're just like, I'm not even going to play this game anymore. I try and be a little bit considerate of the noobs, but if somebody shows up and they already have like their little avatar and their sleeves and stuff, I'm like, I don't got to worry about nothing. Let's go. But for the noobs, I don't do the most vicious things I can do. I try and like, instead of like, oh, I can swing with everybody and you only have one guy and I'm going to literally throw an enchantment on him so you can't even block with him and just extra overkill you. It's like, I'm going to let you do some cross blocking and some trading. I'm going to let you swing in and hit me. If you do one of those final I'm coming at you attacks, I'll do a trade where you can kill one of my guys and hit me at the same time. I am not a one-sided kind of guy when it comes to Magic the Gathering. So with noobs on Arena, I try and be the kind AI. Hey, Rays! Thanks for joining the channel membership! Hatchlings rule! That's right, Game Master, feed the whales. That's what the free players are for. But unlike other games, there's a lot of games that have free to play. And for the free to play people, It's like you're just hamburger meat. The people can spend money and pay to win. As much as people like try and say that Magic is pay to win, it's absolutely not. Magic is just horrifically expensive. It's pay to win, it's pay to play, it's pay to lose. So it's all you just pay. You pay out the ass, and that has almost no effect on whether you're gonna win or not, right? That's the reality. So it ain't pay to win. You can totally beat the hell out of the whales, right? But they can get all the stuff before you if you're a free-to-play player. There is that. It takes longer to get your toys, but if you're skilled, it doesn't matter, man. There's people who spend all kinds of money on Arena who get beat down by me, and I don't spend nothing. But I'm pretty solid when it comes to Magic. I make very few mistakes when I'm paying attention, and I know what the fuck is up. I've been playing a long time. I'm good at the game. I've won a lot of fucking tournaments, so I got the skill level. So for me, I don't even care. It's like, go ahead, you get whatever you want, man. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be all good. You go get 4 of every fucking rare. I'll play with my green tower and beat the hell out of you. I remember people getting upset about that on MTGO. The number of salty messages I got from people who were like, this is bullshit. And I'm like, let me get this straight. You saw a 300 card green deck and you just assumed you deserved the win, right? Right? That's what happened. You just, as soon as you saw the size of my deck and my first forest, you were entitled to the win. Well, let me explain something to you, asshole. Every fucking card in this deck is like a 2-for-1. Also, I'm playing fucking tight, and you made mistakes. So maybe instead of getting upset at me like you were robbed, you should reevaluate your own plays and stop being so fucking ignorant towards me. And most of that would just get you blocked. But there was at least 1 or 2 guys who were like, you know what, dude? You're right, actually. Like, sorry that I acted like that, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm like, you seem cool. Do you want to keep playing? And we became friends. It's ridiculous. People get so angry over, especially if they think you have a noobish deck and you beat them, they can't handle it. And it's like, you're fucking pathetic, dude. I've been playing this game for fucking ever, okay? And when it comes down to games of Magic, a lot of it is whoever makes more mistakes. You're playing sloppy, I'm not. I've got tons of 2-for-1s in my deck, so I've got a ton of advantage and tight play. You have arrogance and sloppy play. That's why you lost, okay? So you're not going to get better getting upset at me, little guy. Run off now, motherfucker, or smarten up. Yeah, Quill, honestly, bro, if you have a problem with the lead pipe, forget the lead pipe. If you really want to be triggered, just look at the rope from the Karlov Manor set. It literally looks like they had some artwork where there was just a curtain in the background, and they cropped it down to the rope. And the rope is dirty and gross, and you're like, why would that even be tied to this curtain? And how does having a dirty, gross rope, like, why does it require like 3 mana to equip? How does it give you +1, +2, and change the way that you're blocked? It's a little shunt of rope. Like, it's pure absurdity. Pure absurdity. DJ Sombrero, Arena sucks. Big clunky tongue. Yup. But you can have fun with it. I'm having fun with it, and I'm not spending any money. I haven't spent any money on Arena, and I have a load of resources. I have a big collection. I have hundreds and hundreds of wild cards. I have draft tokens. I've got hundreds of thousands of gold, tens of thousands of gems, like all of it. All of it. I can build whatever deck I want like that. I can literally load up Arena and build any deck at all right away. Right away, no problem. I got the wild cards for it, plus a bunch of stuff in my collection. It's great from that perspective. I do like that I can acquire this stuff. I don't own them. They're not my cards, right? But I can enjoy them and play with them. And I didn't spend any money on them, so I don't care that I don't own them. And when Arena inevitably shuts down, I'm not going to be like, oh no, I put hundreds of dollars into this. I'm going to be like, I got to play this as much as I wanted for free whenever I wanted. That is great. That is great. Like, Arena isn't just pure garbage, but it does have a lot of flaws. And it is definitely scuzzy in some ways where they want to try and milk you. You know what? They were selling a booster pack for 850 gold today instead of 900 gold, but it was a March of the Machine booster. So I was like, I see what you're doing. Instead of doing a Karlov Manor at 900, you're doing this one at 850. Interesting move. But I bought it because I was like, well, screw it. It's another rare from my collection. And then when I opened up the pack, I scored because it was a rare wild card. And I'm like, oh, yeah! I got Skithrix and a rare wild card. That's sweet. Yeah, VT, that happens a fair number of times where people will just swing at you and you're just like, you just lost the game, bro. Did you not just do the table math? All you had to do was just hold back one guy and I lose. But you just swung with everything and now I win. What are you doing? It happens all the time. People don't want to sit down and actually fucking think who's going to block what, where's the extra point going to come from, and how's it going to end up. So they just go, gink, and then just like, sweet, thanks, man. I'm used to what's it called? Evaluating the board state, paying attention for mistakes, all of it, man. Like, I've played a lot of Magic against people who are good at Magic, right? Like, played in a lot of tournaments, made friends with a lot of people who are good at the game, and yeah, capitalizing on mistakes is what I do all the fucking time. Math is for blockers, mono red players. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I get it. If that's not something you want to spend your time doing because it's not fun, then you don't do it. It's not like you need to, but you are at a significant, if you ignore the math, you're at a significant disadvantage in this puzzle. Magic is an ever-shifting puzzle that you may or may not be able to solve. If you refuse to look at the pieces of the puzzle, it becomes harder to solve it, right? So I love Magic for what it is. It's fantastic. It's a super engaging game that has so much goodness in it. I really wish the company that made it wasn't manhandling it so improperly at this juncture. Yeah, Margaro, there comes a time in the evening when you can no longer do math. Oh, bro, there are times. Don't take what I'm saying to mean every single time I play Arena. I am pure perfection, a paragon of no mistakeitude. Sometimes I make the dumbest mistakes. And because I'm tired or I just don't care, not paying attention, because I'm just there hitting a goal, laying my lands or whatever. And I'm just like, whatever, who cares? Totally swing with all my guys. I'm not always captain type play. And yeah, get me baked enough or tired enough and I'm just going to be like, whatever. Quill says, I'd rather lose hilariously than win boringly. Well, you know what? That's true. It can be pretty boring to do that stuff. You're not wrong there. And I do understand that mentality. It makes you feel like you're doing something as well. When you're on the offense swinging with your guy, you're like, oh, I am the action, right? But really, a lot of Magic does come down to who makes more mistakes. Although, I suppose that is less of a thing now that Wizards is just up the power level, because with higher power level, you have more forgiveness. And also, with games being shorter now, there are fewer opportunities to make mistakes. Magic used to be more about capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes and card advantage. And now it's more just like fucking speed and tempo. Like, you need to start first and you need to maintain tempo. VT, you play a guy to pre-release, he was so full of himself, you're super stoked to put him in his place. I haven't really run into anybody who's like really being uppity to me of Magic. The most recent interaction I can think of that was like putting someone in their place was this adorable interaction where this guy at the pre-release, his brother was a fan of mine. And so he's just like, my brother is a fan of you, so I must destroy you. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you know what? I guess I should play optimally then. I guess instead of the lazy, like normally when I'm at a pre-release, I just go, whatever. But I'm like, oh, okay, you have to defeat me for this. Well, you know what? Let's make sure you earn that win. So I played like super tight. I played super tight against him. And I didn't realize how much of a noob he was at first. So I'm playing super tight and he is playing super loose. Like imagine ignoring a Karn Planeswalker building up power tokens. Imagine not attacking it or just leaving it alone, all this stuff. Like, it's like, what are you doing? This is going to, it's right here. This is going to end you. And you're fiddle sticking around over here talking about how you must crush me and destroy me. And at a certain point, he's just looking at what's going on the board and what's happening. He goes, you're quite formidable. And like by the end of the game, he had nothing in his hand and nothing on the board. I took everything from him because it was like, now go brag to your brother about it. This is what happened. You know? It's like the, oh, you like the Magic Historian? I'm going to go and fight him and best him. And then it's just like, no, you're going to be ultimately dominated by him to the point where it's just like that. I've got my hand on your forehead, little guy. And you're just like, and then I just go, and you fly across the room into the wall. Right? Like, it was that level. That was fun. That was fun. But I only did it because he was putting on these theatrics. Like I wasn't like spiteful. It wasn't angry. I was enjoying myself. But I wanted him. It's like, if you want to brag about beating me and you want it to be the thing, then you got to beat me for real. Let's do it, boy. And so, yeah, he got wrecked. He got absolutely wrecked. Like I left him with nothing. Nothing. VT crushed and demoralized them. Bro, that used to be how I operated back in the day with the tournaments and stuff. I would get into people's heads. There was one guy, I would get a win from him as all I had to do was mess with his first turn birds. Nobody else could get him to do this, but he would literally throw his cards and freak out every time I messed with his birds. So even if it wasn't the best normal strategy to like get rid of his birds, like waste a bolt or like bolt the birds, plow it or whatever, like no matter what, because a first turn birds, you always plow or bolt, right? But like a third turn one, you're really going to piss it away, really? For that acceleration? First turn birds has to go, but anything else, right? So he would forfeit anytime I messed with his birds. First turn bird, you always have something. Third turn bird, you always have something. It got to the point where I could unsummon his Birds of Paradise. Just unsummon it, return it to his hand, and he would forfeit. I'm like, this is amazing. Every time I sat against him, free win, just hit the birds, and he would just fold and bounce. And it was like, this is the best. This is amazing. Yeah, I used to get into people's heads. Hardcore. You know, it's the domination to the level where they don't want to play you next time because they know. It's like, no, he's going to be playing that awful control. And he's going to be such a dick about it, too. He's going to drag it out and rub it in my fucking face. Because that's what I did, man. That's what I did. People would cast spells and I would just go like this. Pick one. And then grab a card from my hand. That's the one I used to counter it. Done? You know, like... Do you know how demoralizing that is? I have 7 counter spells in my hand. You're not doing shit. Go fuck yourself. You know, like... I loved that. Choose one, motherfucker. What? Get Wizards to show green players some love. What are you talking about? Wizards cranked green right up, bro. Questing beasts and all kinds of insanity. Wizards had to tone green down. Green went from being like the ignored child of Magic into the like pumped full of crack rocks because Wizards found out that beginners love green because green is a real friendly, fun color and smashing with big creatures feels good. People say the term Timmy derogatorily. Being a Timmy is fucking amazing. If you can't appreciate being a Timmy, then you're a fucking fool. That means you can't appreciate the big, beautiful, glorious things in life. You're focused on tiny, pathetic bullshit. Timminess is pure fucking glory. And green is the color of Timminess. So they had to actually tone green back down. White is the color that is currently Magic's whipping boy of garbage. But they're moving it up slowly but surely. Actually, the play design boosters now give white some more power too. Nah, dude, Scragnoth triggered me. You know what I hated so much? Gaia's Blessing. I'm like, wait, no, what? Sorry, I mill this card and you get your whole fucking graveyard back? What? What? Okay, hold on. Tormod's Crypt, where are you? You're going back in my deck. Like, man, did I hate Gaia's Blessing. I put out a first turn Mana Crypt Millstone. I mill you for 10 turns in a row and then you undo it without spending any mana? It just happens? No! No! Not only Tormod's Crypt, Jester's Cap as well. Let's Jester's Cap that crap out of here. Or River Boa? Unblockable? Regenerator? That you can't disc away? Better have a Legacy's Allure or something. Yeah, my girl? No, I didn't get the Psychic Stone. I did not. It's like $50, bro. As much as I want psychic powers, I don't... I'm not rich enough to give a store $50 for a rock. Can't do it. No. When you're more concerned with trying to make sure that your grocery budget is balanced and everything, you're not worried about buying no $50 stones. Yeah, black is strong right now. Black is definitely got some powerhouse stuff going on in standard for sure. There's no doubt in that. I mean, Shieldred is an undeniable force, right? It's true, man. It is a screaming rock. It had a screaming face, and it gives you psychic powers. But, I mean, you can't use psychic powers on an empty stomach now, can you? We'll have real psychic powers when the alien Bigfoots come down to Earth and the UFOs and teach us telepathy. They're not going to teach you telepathy. They're going to use telekinesis to hold you down and Bigfoot your butthole, bro. If you think it's bad to get done in the butt normally, wait until it's a Bigfoot. They use their feet, dude, and each of their toes are dicks. Nobody can refute that, by the way. Nobody can refute the fact that Bigfoot's toes are all dicks because nobody's ever fucking seen Bigfoot for real, right? His real name is Dickfoot, but nobody wants to accept that. Dickfootin'. He comes lumbering out of the woods. Get footed! All right, my friends. This has been a nice chill stream. Thanks for coming and hanging out and chatting about some randomness, cracking some boosters. And yeah, I'm going to get on up out of here, and we will get back together real soon. But for now, I go into the waters of the underworld.